It's Stu here from 3B, just doing something slightly different with these videos. As you know, we have some new Samsung TVs incoming, which is always cool and very exciting. The key things to sort of take from the sort of press announcement, demonstrations and what have you that we've seen on online, I think the main sort of takeaway from all of this, other than, you know, we can sort of forget some of Samsung's huge ability to make something that's been around for a while and make it seem like it's never existed before and it's all fancy and new. You know, such is the case that we've seen sort of with the TVs before. We're sort of seeing, you know, it's got this, it's got that, and it's like, yeah, the other TVs had that. Stop trying to rebrand it as something new. But all TV manufacturers are kind of guilty of that. The key thing for me really is the Q9F, which has proper blacks. Apparently they've fixed the issues that we kind of always had with not just Samsung TVs, but very, you know, TVs of this sort of using this similar technology, where we're just getting even though with a full array behind it, we're getting, you know, if you have like a bright object surrounded by sort of black, you get this sort of halo effect around it. Apparently Samsung have addressed this now, which is great. How effective that is remains really to be seen, but it's encouraging at least that they've sorted that out, so they claim. The other thing that's interesting is that HDR is now with the KS series, when it was kind of first introduced, we had sort of 1,000 nits, and then last year we had 1,500 nits, and now this year we have 2,000 nits, which is crazy bright, you know, considering that 1,000 nits is bright enough really, but we're getting sort of 2,000 nits HDR, and they're calling it some nonsense like QHDR. There we go. And of course the image shows that previous HDR, just nonsense, no one wants that. We want QHDR, which is going to burn your eyeballs. The other thing which slightly confuses and bemuses me somewhat is the fact that they're still producing curved screens. We have the Q8C coming out, which I don't know who buys a curved screen. You gain nothing from the image. It's all marketing bullshit. Don't believe a single word of it. The other standout thing, which again I'm a bit dubious about as to how effective this would be, they kind of have this thing where they're saying your TV will be able to sort of copy the background that the TV is sitting on. So if it's on a wall, it'll be able to sort of blend in if you just take a picture with your phone, and it will just sort of automatically blend in. How effective that will be remains to be seen. A lot of their videos sort of show animations, and I can't see who has an animated wall to begin with, but I can't see how that can really work effectively. The other thing that is pretty cool, which was a kind of an annoyance with the last year's sets, was the fiber optic cable, the one single cable, but you still needed a power cable to sort of extend up. That's been corrected an awful lot more now. We've got just one single cable that feeds both the TV and the power at the same time, whereas before we still had the power cable and the optical cable, but now we just have a slightly thicker sort of invisible cable that serves the power and feeds the image from the breakout box too, which is really cool. I think that's a great idea. So we're getting these better screens, we're getting deeper better blacks, better angles as well. Apparently we're getting less of that sort of, as soon as you go off axis with the camera, with the screen, we're getting a better image quality, and it doesn't sort of wash out, as we pretty much see with the KS series 8000, KS 8000. If you go off axis, it starts to wash out, and you don't have to go too far off for that to happen. Other things that they thankfully maybe have corrected a lot of is the fact that they've sorted out the remote. It was a really crappy remote that we had before. They call it the Q Smart now, I think. If it'll load up. So they've got a better remote control. The last one was laughable, really. Some plastic rattly affair, which you may remember one of the very early videos I did, was just rattle and rattle, whereas this seems to be a little bit more substantial. It seems to work a lot better, and hopefully it will do more. Another key thing that I'm kind of, there's an annoyance with the older ones, is that if you wanted to use any of the coloured buttons, you had to sort of fiddle around and press another button to get up the coloured buttons to work. So that was always a problem I found. But overall, things do look promising. They're saying it connects to all your other Samsung devices, which, you know, is great if you have everything Samsung, which is pretty cool, I guess. But the key highlight really is full proper LED array at the background that serves the lighting of the TV. So, and they've controlled that in such a way that you don't get any of this sort of haloing effect. And we also have a better remote, better blacks, and easier installation, and one thin cable. So those are the sort of takeaway things for me. Whether it's worth upgrading remains to be seen. I'm still kind of holding out for the Q9S, the one that can take standard definition footage and make it into 8K, which is crazy. Maybe we'll see that TV next year, who knows. But that's the new range coming up. It's the Q9F, the Q8C that nobody will buy, Q7F and the Q6F. And it'll be really exciting to see, and hopefully we'll be able to get our hands on one and see what they're like. Ooh. Okay guys, I've also got some news on the HDR10 Plus on the KS and MU series, on the KS series TVs, so look out for that. Okay, catch you again soon. It would be if I could actually speak and get the words out, always helps.